In today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to do the fluffy meringue stitch. This can be done in any size. The pattern is written for babies, but you can keep going and make this as big as you want to. Let's get started now. And welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to do the fluffy meringue stitch blanket. It is meant for babies, but you can do this in any size that you wish because the pattern is versatile that you can keep going endlessly, as big as you want to go for this. Now you will notice that the baby has the afghan. This picture does it no justice because there's actually an amazing amount of stitch work in here to really challenge you. I think for newbie crocheters, you people that are just getting started, this is going to be a problem. For those that are experienced and determined, whether you're intermediate or expert level, this may be something up your alley because it will challenge you, and I have a little bit more to say about it today as well. So this afghan also has a very three-dimensional look. You can see that the layers are lifting off each other in the very beginning round. But what is more interesting about this whole thing is that the crochet diagram is provided to you. Look at this bad boy. Does that not twist up your eyes? I thought to myself, I'm never gonna learn how to do this, but in actual fact it's a lot more simpler once you start getting beyond the first and second repeat pattern and you start really physically seeing what's going on within your project. Throughout today's tutorial I'm going to be teaching you how to read this crochet diagram as we go, and I'm gonna be working on two major layers of it because once you start seeing how it's connected to each other as well as the repeat pattern, you can see how easy it's gonna go. Now when I say easy, you know, it is easy. You just got to break it down into many steps. So what I decided to do is that if you really look at this, this side here is identical to this side and is identical to this side and this side. So I think that really the key element here is that when we blow it up even bigger is that our key element is to watch exactly where it's growing. So it's always growing up on one corner, but what's happening up here will happen over here and down there and here. So the basic idea is that once you get started here and you see what's going on here, it's actually kind of easy to remember what's going to happen in the remaining three sides, and it's just this beginning one that may throw you for a loop just for a few moments. We're going to be experiencing in today's tutorial single crochet chains. You're going to have picots here as well. We're going to have back post double crochets as well. This area here kind of really twisted me up in the very beginning when we have this going on, but again once you start understanding this pattern and go piece by piece, it makes it to be very simple. So without further ado, let's begin to go into the center here. I'm using a 5.5mm crochet hook today, and I'm gonna be using Bernat Super Value for my demonstration. In the tutorial sample that I have, I did mine in Bernat Little Tots, and it's actually really amazing too and super soft. But I'm gonna show you doing with yarn that's easier to see on camera. Let's begin round number one, and round number one is gonna start off with a chain to make a circle, and then we're gonna just start working our way around there. Now if you prefer to watch the written instructions, you can do so. I am following it along. I haven't made any adjustments in this at all, and let's begin. So let's start off with the slip knot, and I'm keeping this off to the side. I'll provide a large printout for that on my website as well. I just put it in my printer and just did a blow up of it. So let's start off with a slip knot, and I want to make sure that I'm going to chain 5. So that, remember, this doesn't ever count as 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then coming back into the first chain to form a ring, we're just gonna slip stitch like so. So there's the very center and it matches the diagram, and I'm good to go. So going back down to the actual diagram itself, we're gonna go to round number 1, and we're going to actually chain 4. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. This counts as a double crochet and chain 1. So if you can just bend that last one over there, it's a double crochet, chain 1, and we're gonna double crochet back into the center of the ring again and then chain 1. And then back into the center of the ring and chain 1, back into the center of the ring and chain 1, and keep doing that until you get a total of 8 of these posts that are going around the circle. So I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just simply coming back in. This will be 6, 7 and 8, just like so. So remember, we can't just join it here. We have to chain 1 first and then just join it to the 3rd stitch up. Okay, so there should be a total of 8 of these posts. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8. I just wanted to double check that, and if you have 8 to start with, you're gonna be good to go for the remainder of this project. So at this point in the pattern, we now have number 1 done, and so we're simply going to move up to number 2. So number 2, what we're going to do then is that we're going to slip stitch into the gapping space here to start, and then we're going to chain 7. So this chaining of 3 right here counts as the first double crochet, and then the 4 chains here count as like a space, a 4 chain space. So when you go to do it, it's gonna look awkward. It's not until you get to the next level where you'll see it bending properly, just like this. So I guess on this pattern what I need to do is that I need to mark on here that I have number 1 done, so I'll just keep that going, and now let's move on to number 2. So basically in each one of these chain 1 spaces we're going to be doing almost the same thing. And so basically we have a chain 4 space here. This is gonna be a corner here. Look at this corners, they're always going to be the same. So this will always stay balanced for you, and then we're gonna come into the next one and then create the chain 4 space, just like so. Each one of these fans, whenever they're sitting into any space, always is a chain 4, and if you can remember that, it makes it a lot easier to remember in the future. So let's begin our first space here, and we're just going to slip stitch into the chain 1 space to begin, and then we're going to chain 7. So 1 2 3, there's your double crochet, 4 5 6 and 7. That is your chain 4 space. We're gonna come back into that same space there for a double crochet. So it kinda looks weird right now, but it actually kinda looks like it should. That's just a fluke. So what we're going to do then is that we're just gonna immediately jump to the next chain 1 space, and then just double crochet, chain 1 and double crochet. So this is the very first corner that we're gonna do. So let's come into the next space that's available to you, and it's gonna be double crochet, chain 4, 1 2 3 4, back into the same space. Okay, do you get that? So there's one side here, and it looks a little awkward at this particular side at this particular time, but here's one side and here's another, and I find it's not until you get to a few more rows that you can actually start seeing the balance. So we're gonna come to the next space, and it's double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. This is another corner. So then we're gonna do a flat side, so it's double crochet, chain 4, 1 2 3 and 4, coming into the same space. See, now you can start seeing the square actually is starting to materialize. Okay, and then coming into the next space is double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. So there's another corner there. So do you notice how the corners look a little off? So in actual fact, this is a corner, this is a corner, this is a corner. It looks like it's in the flat spaces right now. That'll change in the future. So if you're thinking it's not right at this point, don't, just keep going, because it will balance out. Let's go to the next space, is double crochet, chaining 4, and then into the same space. Okay, and to the last space here is just double crochet, chain 1 and double crochet, which makes sense because the other one here is got that chain 4 space. So we count up to the third one, 1 2 and 3, and just join it with the slip stitch, just like so. So basically you can see that their square shape looks like it's here, but in actual fact it's actually kinda like this. Okay, so these are your corners there. So it just looks like it's actually square in the wrong direction, but just continue with me and keep going along. Now we're gonna move up to round number 3, and we're going to slip stitch into this chain 4 space before we begin. There are 9 double crochets into this chain 4 space in every which one all the way around. So we're gonna start off by chaining 3, which counts as one of the 9, and then we're gonna do 8 double crochets, and then into the next space here, this is your corner, and then there will be 9 here, corner, 9, corner. I find this is the easiest round on all of them, going all the way forward. It just blazes along really quickly. So let's begin to do this, and we're going to slip stitch into this chain 4 space first. So we're in the right section, and then we're going to chain 3. 1, 2 and 3, and then just double crochet 8 more times into the same space. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7 and 8. That's all there is to it. So now we come into the next space here. Do you see that's like a V-stitch here? You're just gonna follow it up. So the corners are gonna follow themselves all the way up, and we simply always are just gonna put in a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet to maintain the corner. So let's begin. We look for the next chain 4 space and immediately just start to double crochet. We're doing 9 times this time. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. And then we immediately look for the next corner because we're already ready for there. So it's a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. So let's do the next chain 4 space. So it's 9 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 and 9, and then just look for the next corner because we're ready for there. So the next corner space is double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Okay, and so we're gonna go to the next chain 4 space. It's the last one, so it's gonna be 9 double crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. And we look for the next last corner space, so you can kind of see it's going all the way around. We look for the last corner right there and chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then we just immediately just join it to the beginning chain 3 that we started with, just like so. So you can still see at this point that the corners are still looking like they're not in the right position, but again this will balance out. So just got to keep trusting me here. It will change because when I was doing this I thought it's just not working out right, but just trust me, it will. We're now gonna move up to round number 4, and round number 4, do you see how there's 2 chains here and then we start double crocheting back in? You will notice this on 4 and 5. That happens, 8 and 9. So you'll notice that every time you're on the same section of this particular spray or wave, you will be doing this, and you need to do this in order for it to maintain the balance of this particular stitch. So without further ado, let's keep going. You're going to notice that there's gonna be 1 double crochet into each one of these, and there's picots at the top. These are what's making the afghan raise up and lift up off of the project, is by doing these picots where we are. And then essentially once we get to the corner it's the same thing, and then we picot and picots and picots and etc. So let's begin round number 4. Let's begin round number 4, and we're gonna start off as per the diagram is just chaining 2, and you need to do that as well. We're gonna come into the very same stitch right directly below for a double crochet, and we're gonna do a picot at the top. So do a double crochet as normal, and a picot is chaining 3, 1, 2 and 3, coming in to the 2 strings right there. Okay, so if you have 3, just look for these 2 strings right in the front and pull through and through, and that makes a picot. So we're gonna come into the next stitch that's available to you for a double crochet, and we're gonna do a picot again at the top. So 1, 2 and 3, looking for the 2 strings right in the front side, just like there, and pull through. Okay, and then double crochet into the next one, and then picot. So 1, 2 and 3, and looking for the 2 strings right in the front. If you've never picoted before, you may be a bit of a challenge. 2 and 3, but you just have to stick with it. It goes relatively quickly. Okay, so we're doing 1 into each, so therefore there should be a total of 9. So 1, 2 and 3. So from this part of the tutorial, all sides are the same, and I'm just gonna get you started on each one of the sides, and then you just have to repeat the same lessons that I'm teaching in the first side to repeat it to the second and third and fourth. So I'm just continuing to double crochet and picot. And then coming back in, and I can see that I have one more after this one. So 1, 2, and 3. So you can see that the picot ends here, so this is the last one stitch available to us. And then 1, 2, and 3 picot. So once you have that whole spray done, you can see that it has a beautiful layer here, and so we're gonna come to our corner because that's next, and you see that it's just following it up, and then it's always gonna be the same. So it's double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. So you're going to do the exact same lesson that you did over here, you just don't do any chain 2 at the beginning. So you immediately just come into the very first one of the 9 here and just put in a double crochet and then picot 1, 2, and 3, and just keep doing the same patterning going all the way around. When I come back, I'll be having this done, and then I'll show you what to do next, because this is when the layer starts to lift off the project. When you come all the way back around, I need you to join where it was to the chain 2 when we did this whole thing. So this will conclude this whole round, and basically you have what appears to be a really nice look, nice picots that are on the tops. And in the next round, what's gonna happen is that we're gonna work with the back posts, which will then lift these off of the project. So let's look at the diagram and continue along. In round number 5, this is when the game plan changes, that we start creating the foundations of making more of these sprays. So these sprays will always end up being on one side of the corner and the other side of the corner. So you got one here and etc. So what we have to do is that we have to create the groundwork for round number 5 in order to really start creating this element so that we can get more sprays in here. So basically 1 will turn into 2, and then once you get these 2 done, it'll turn into 3, and then 4, and then it'll keep just being never ending as far as getting any size that you wish. What you have to pay attention to this is that we're gonna be doing back posts double crochet throughout this, which gives it the lift that we're looking for, and again the corners always remain the same. So let's begin round number 5. Let's begin round number 5, and we're gonna start off, and you can see there it starts off with chaining of 2. So 1 and 2. We need to do this in order to keep it in balance. So what you have to pay attention to is that you should have a total of 9 of these double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. The chaining of 2 does not count as one of them. That's just a moving up row. So we just immediately, we're gonna back post double crochet around the first one of the first picot. So coming around the back through the back post and back out to the back side, and just double crochet as normal, just like so. So what we're going to then do is chaining a 3, and this is standard. So chaining a 3, 1, 2, and 3, and what we have to do then is come back. We can see that this one is already attaching to this one. We skip only 1 and then go to the second one over for another back post double crochet, followed by a chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. We skip the next one and go to the second one over and do another back post double crochet, chain 3, and then coming in, skipping one more and going to the next one for a back post double crochet, chaining 3, and then we come to the very last post of that same spray and back post double crochet. So basically you can see at this point is that you should have 4 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 in order to make that work. Once you have that done, you immediately, okay, without putting any more chains at all, we just immediately just come to the corner and 1 double crochet, chain 2, and 1 double crochet, just like this. Okay, so you can see that it's raised on the back, and so if I was to change color I would do it in the next round. Don't do it in this one because this is working in the back posts, and so you would see a color change in these particular sprays if you're having that. So to begin again, we just have to pay attention to where those posts are. Remember, this is part of the corner here, so we don't want to touch this one. It appears that it's part of the spray but it's not, and we just have to look to where the picots are and to where everything is starting and stopping. To begin again, we just come to the first one here, the picot, and we're just going to back post double crochet. So I didn't chain 3 first at all, and now I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, skipping the next one, going to the second one over, back post double crochet, chain 3, skipping to the next one. So you keep doing that, chaining 3, just capturing all these ones in the spray. Okay, and skipping another one and chain 3, and I'm getting into the last one here just like so, and so I have no more sprays to do, so I can see this is my corner coming up, so I just immediately double crochet, chain 1 and double crochet. This round is relatively quickly on all of the rounds, and you can see that it's building on a layer on the back side, and this will then cause this whole front to lift off of the project. So continue that same fashion all the way around. I'll meet you back in just a moment. So I'm coming up all the way back around, and I simply just want to just go into the make this corner. The biggest mistake you can do on this round is putting in the chain 3 before doing a corner. Just remember that you put in your last back post double crochet and you immediately start the corner. You don't do a chain 3 in between. That's kind of where I went wrong in my prototype when I was kind of messing up. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then just join it to the chain 2 that you started with, and this is what it looks like at this point. You can see it's already kind of lifting, and basically let's move along to the pattern. The next round I thought was the hardest one of all of them to understand for myself. In round number 6 I found it was the hardest round of all of them. You hit this in 6, 10 and 14. You can see it all here. What we really have to pay attention to is the difference of the corners versus this whole stitch right here. This is where it all throws me for a loop, and you have this on this side here as well as this side and all of them. So you just have to understand what's happening in the very beginning here, because it's really kind of confusing to me, but once you get it, you get it. And so just bear with me. I'll go as slow as I can, just show you how to work with this particular round. Let's begin round number 6, and we're immediately just going to start off by chaining 7. So 7 counts as a double crochet going up and a chain 4 space. Do we remember that from before? If you remember round 2, it was exactly how we did it to form the very starting of the actual spacing here. So let's begin. We're going to chain 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and we double crochet into this exact same space from where that came out of. And so you have to visualize this item as being a double crochet up, chain 4 space, and then reaching back across to the beginning. That's how you have to visualize this one. Coming into the first chain 3 space, we're going to single crochet, and then we're going to chain 3. 1, 2 and 3. Coming into the next chain 3 space, and then 1, 2 and 3, coming into the next space, and we're looking for where this next corner is, because that's where the game changes. So we have 1, 2 and 3, 2 and 3, and so we basically come into this next chain 3 space for a single crochet. But before you go any further, what you have to do is that you have to come into this very first stitch right here, and we're gonna double crochet into there first. This is not part of the corner, this is the one right beside it. So here's your corner, it's the one right beside it. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then coming back into the same space for another double crochet. So basically it's the same thing you just did over here, but in reverse on how you constructed it. So let's do our next corner. So the corner is always chain double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and we're gonna start again. So basically what we have to do is that we put in a double crochet right in the first one, so it's not the part of the corner, it's the first one over, And when we started this we did a chain 7 because that includes that one. So this is a double crochet, chaining 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and coming into the exact same space, double crochet again. And what pulls it over is that in this first space you were gonna put in a single crochet, and that pulls it over to the side to make it work. You see that? So now we're gonna chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, coming into the next space, 1, 2 and 3, coming into the next space, 1, 2 and 3, coming into the next space. Now I can see that the corners are next. So what I have to do is that I have to finish off this side first. So I'm gonna double crochet into the first one. Okay, so this is the corner. It's the first one. Double crochet, chaining of 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and back into that same space that I just did for a double crochet, and then you begin to do the corner as normal. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Okay, so basically you can kind of see this is the round that makes the corners look like they're actually balanced. Up until this point it's always looked like the sprays are part of the corners, but in actual fact you'll start seeing it's now starting to materialize. Continue that same pattern going all the way around. When we come back I'll show you how to move up to round number 7. So I'm coming up all the way back around and I have everything in. I just got to do my final corner, chain 1 and double crochet just like so, and I want to attach it to the third one up. So 1, 2 and 3 to finish that off just like so. So you can see now it's starting, the first part has lifted off, and now we're ready to continue on to round number 7. So basically looking at this pattern we just finished off round number 6 just like so. So you can see that the pyramid of these chains are actually getting smaller and smaller because the sprays are gonna start getting larger and larger and starting to impede onto the spaces just like so. So when we did this one here we have a single crochet here for 4 times. You can see that the next one there will only be 3 as the sprays start to lift off and start to go into the next spaces. So this one is identical to number 3. The only difference now is that basically we're gonna start off with the spray, we're gonna put some space work and then a spray and then do a corner, and that's what we're gonna do for round number 7. So in round number 7 I want you to slip stitch to the chain 4 space first before beginning, and then I want you to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and that counts as a double crochet. So we're gonna do 8 more double crochets into that same chain 4 space. So that's 3, sorry this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Okay, so with that first one of the chain 3 that counts as 1, so you should have 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and so this just leans over to the first chain 3 space here. So just single crochet into that space and then chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and then go into the next space just like so for a single crochet and chain 3 again. So 1, 2 and 3, and then single crochet into the next space here. So this time you are gonna end up with 2 chain 3 spaces versus the 3 that we're currently underneath. So what we're looking for here is that you can see here is the corner that's going up, and this is the chain 4 space, so that's where the next spray is gonna be. So there's gonna be 9 double crochets into that same space, and it's right before the corner. So this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. And we immediately just then go right to the next corner and then just double crochet, chain 1 and double crochet. I'm gonna get you started on the next side. So this is what it looks like at this point. Okay, so these here are going to turn into one of these sprays as we get further on into this project. So we are going to start immediately and we just come into the next chain 4 space. It's big, okay, and we're gonna put in 9 double crochets. 2, 3, 4, it's 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And basically we just lean it over, go to the first chain 3 space, double crochet, or sorry, single crochet, chaining 3, going to the next chain 3 space for a single crochet, chaining 3, and the next chain 3 space, single crochet. So you can see that this is the corner going up, and so this is the chain 4 space, and we put in our 9 double crochets in there. So continue to do the same patterning going all the way around. I'll meet you back up in just a moment. I'm coming up all the way back around, and I just have my last corner to worry about. Just double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then we're just gonna join it with the top of the chain 3 that we started with at this point. So you can see that the sprays are now going all the way around on this particular one, and you can see that it starts off in the corner, which is good, and this pyramid shape is gonna get smaller and smaller as we go into the next round. Let's move on to round number 8. In round number 8 we're going to start off and we're going to chain 2 as we had before, just like we did it way down here. It's identical. We're just doing the picots. The only difference is that we're still working in the spaces here. So after we get the spray done, we have you see how it leans over into this next space. So we're gonna single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, and then start the sprays and then going up. I find the most confusing element to this whole thing was actually in the next round, which is number 9 and 10 right here in this X, and they're all there. But once you understand how to do this, basically this is where I'm gonna leave you in the tutorial, because basically once I show you how to do that, it's just a matter of repeating the patterns, and you can see that there's more added, and these only appear in between the sprays that are in the center of a side, just like so. So you never see them over here. So let's move along to round number 8 and begin the picot work. So let's move along to round number 8. In round number 8 we're gonna chain 2 to start, and then we're gonna come into the exact same where we were and just double crochet with the picot at the top of it. So double crochet, picot, that's chain 3 coming in, and I'm gonna do this entire spray with you on camera, and then I'm gonna show you the spacing in the middle, 1, 2, and 3, and show you what the pattern is showing on the diagram. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1. So I don't know how many people are gonna do this for a baby's blanket, but it is absolutely amazing. It's a great design. If crocheters are looking for something a little more adventurous for them personally, for themselves, and a project that is beyond the granny square, this is definitely one of those to consider. Okay, so I'm gonna look down on the project to see if I got all the sprays or not. So I can see that I'm still missing one right, actually no, yes I am. So I'm still missing one. If I'm unsure I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I visually could see that I didn't have 9, but you should double check just to make sure if you're ever questioning it as well. So here's the 9th one, and so basically this will lean over top of the first chain 3 space. So we're just gonna single crochet, chaining 3, and then single crochet into this next space here, and then we immediately just start double crocheting into the first one with the picot at the top. So 1, 2, and 3. So it's just a matter of reaching it. So once you have this one done, it's just like you did before. You're gonna end up hitting the corner, so just keep an eye on the corners here, and then you're just immediately gonna do your last picot and then just do your corner as normal. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and continue that all the way around. When I come back I'll show you a little bit more on the next part of this particular project. So just coming up all the way back around, I've done my last picot there. You will notice that the picot rounds are the most labor intensive of the entire project. So when you get on there, grab a cup of coffee, relax, sit back and just enjoy the process, because it's the picot round that actually makes it look really balanced. So at this part we're gonna have our picots on both sides of the corners. You can see the one right in the middle, and basically we're going to continue along at this point. So please just join this to the beginning, chain 2, and in the next 2 rounds I'm gonna take my time. The next 2 rounds don't take a lot of time. It's just a matter of visualization, especially when it comes in between the 2 of the sprays. No matter if there's 3 sprays, 4 sprays, 5 sprays, it's the ones that are right in the center that do not touch a corner that really kind of threw me for the loop the most on this whole entire project. So moving up along to round number 9. Round number 9 and 10 are the ones that threw me for the loop the most, and they will continue to appear as we go up higher, and it's right where these crisscross right here. So essentially we're going to start off like we did down here, and you see how these are here? Well, because we have 2 in the middles now, where they're joining in the front, this is a back post double crochet together. There's 2 of them together to make this. And so what I keep doing, even though I'm not like way beyond this point at this point, is sometimes that I keep forgetting not to chain 3 in between these 2. So you just have to get used to, when you get in between the sprays, just to be mindful of it, because when we come back and do the next round, these 2 are going to be in the same stitch of these 2 here to create this X formation. So let's begin to do round number 9. Let's begin to do round number 9. It's very similar to round number 5 and how we start. We're going to chain 2 first, and then coming into the very first spray that we want to work with is that we want to make sure that it's gonna work. So we wanna make sure that we're counting just to get us off to the right start. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So this means that we're gonna come into the first one of the picots from the back side and do a back post double crochet, followed by a chain 3. 1, 2, 3, skipping to the next one and going to the second one over for another back post double crochet. So this is exactly what we were doing before, followed by a chain 3 coming into the next one. So we're going to every other one, 1, 2, and 3, and then we're coming into the next one. And the game plan changer is about to start. So we're gonna chain 3 first, and basically this last spray plus this first spray over here have to come together for a back post double crochet together stitch. So how we do that is that we're gonna come and we're going to wrap our hook first into around the first post as normal, and then pull through 2 and hold, and then we're gonna come all the way over here to the very first spray of them, wrap the hook, come around the back post of that one, pull through, you have 2 on your hook, pull through 2, and now just pull through all 3, and that becomes your cross right in the center. It's the bottom part of the cross. Okay, so what I was doing originally when I started this is that I was doing a chaining of 3 here first, but it doesn't make sense because I need to do the cross. So then we're gonna chain 3 to begin again, and we're gonna come to the first one's already into the cross here, so we're gonna skip the next one, come to the second one over, and then chain 3. And hopefully by this point in the tutorial that you're become familiar enough with this pattern that you can actually follow this pattern without much tutorial help after this. I'm gonna do this round plus the next, and then we'll get you just I'll just talk your way through the next round, and I will leave the rest of this project to you because basically what you've already learned is appearing. So I've come into the last part of the spray. Here is my corner coming up, and the corners are the same thing, so I don't chain 3 first after doing this last spray. I want to just double crochet, chain 2 or chain 1, double crochet, just like so. So you can see that it's there, and these are starting now to lift off your project. So continue to do the same formation all the way around. Be mindful of where these are in the center of the flat areas, and once you get that, it makes it really easy. So I'm coming up all the way back around. You will have noticed that you zipped around really quickly on this one, and then basically when we come back we just join it to the beginning, just chain 2 that we started with, just like this. So let's begin. We're gonna move up to round number 10, and round number 10 is basically almost the final where I'm gonna leave you today, and then you can figure out the rest of it on your own, and you can see this is coming along really nicely. So round number 10 is identical to round number 6. So remember how we started off with that chaining of 7 and then came back and then we single crocheted into the first chain 3 space? Well, that's happening again over here in number 10. The only difference now is that because we have 2 sprays, we have to pay attention to this middle section right here. So we're going to come along and then essentially we're going to single crochet into the last chain 3 space, and then we're just gonna double crochet into the back post, double crochet where they've come together, chain 4, and then double crochet back into that same space, and then immediately single crochet into the next chain 3 space as we go. And basically you can see how we started here is happening over here and going all the way around. So let's begin to do this. I know you can do it, so watch. Let's begin round number 10 together. We're simply just going to chain 7. So 1, 2, 3, which is your double crochet, 4, 5, 6, and 7, which is your chain 4 space. And this is making room for the next set of sprays that are gonna come up over top of this. We're going to double crochet into the exact same space from where we just came out of. Okay, and we're just gonna lean this over and come into the chain 3 space for a single crochet, and that pulls it over to the side just like this. Okay, so we're gonna chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, coming into the next chain space. 1, 2, and 3, coming into the next chain space, and then 1, 2, and 3, coming into the next chain space. So we come into the chain space right before you can see that this cross is going on right in the middle. So we're just gonna simply, we've just single crocheted, we're going to double crochet into the middle of the cross area, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and coming back into that same cross space for another double crochet, and that's the other side of it, just like so. So you can see that it will be across 1, 2, and then 3 and 4, just like this. So we're gonna then just single crochet into the next chain 3 space that you have available to you, and then chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. In the next space, 1, 2, and 3, single crochet the next space, 1, 2, and 3, single crochet into this next space. And so this is just like we started over here. Okay, we have to maintain this same section way over here. So we single crocheted first, and then we come in and see this is the corner here coming up. So it's the one right before the corner. We're gonna double crochet there first, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it's double crochet into that same space you just were in. Okay, and that makes room for that next spray that's gonna be building on top of it, and then we do the corner immediately. So it's just double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. I'm gonna show this round or this next side one more time. So we're just gonna immediately just start off, and we're gonna double crochet into the first one that's available to you, and followed by a chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and double crochet back into that same spot. Okay, so just lean it over and go to the first chain 3 space for a single crochet, chaining of 3, single crochet in the next space, 1, 2, 3, single crochet in the next space, 1, 2, and 3, single crochet into the next space, and you can see that the cross formation is there. So we're going to immediately just double crochet right into the middle of the cross space there, the stitch, chain 4, and double crochet back into that same spot, and that's your middle. We're going to then, here's the chain 3 space, single crochet, 1, 2, 3, single crochet in the next chain 3 space, single crochet in the next chain 3 space, 1, 2, 3. Okay, single crochet into the final chain 3 space. You can see here comes the corner. So we're going to, we've got the single crochet in first, we're coming in for a double crochet. Okay, the one right before the corner, chain 4, and double crochet into that same spot, and then immediately do the corner. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. So you just have to pay attention. So what's happening now is that you can clearly see how they're kind of lumpy coming up here and here. These are your next sprays. So you got the next one here, here, and here, which makes sense, right? Because you're always gonna have ones in the corner, and then this is the new one that's gonna pop out in between. And if we look at the diagram just like we did, This is the repetitive pattern, as you can see. So we've just now made space for this next set of sprays to come in, and you can see that the pyramid is gonna get smaller as we go up, and basically this is how to do this whole entire project. You can go as big or as small as you want to. So here is my other project that I'm working on. Again, same thing, different level of type of yarn. You don't see as much of the actual stitch work when you have more of a variegated yarn, just like you see here. But that choice is up to you. This is extremely soft, so is this, but this is softer, and you can see that you get the same amazing look, and basically change the yarn, change the hook, and you can have like a project that looks completely different even though it's exactly identical. When you turn this one around, you will notice that it is flat, and so basically all the work is on the front side of this particular project, and you may love this project and be one of your favorites, and it really does an amazing look. So until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of Yarnspirations as well as the crochetcrowd.com. Stay tuned next time for more free patterns and ideas. We'll see you later on Facebook. Bye bye.